Sketch on the same axes y equals 2/3 cos squared x and y equals sine x between 0 and 2 pi. Well, this looks the harder of the two, so I'm going to start by this one. And I'm just going to start by thinking about what cos squared x looks like and not worry about the 2/3 until later. So, if this is my axes, well, I know that cos x crosses the axis at pi by 2 and then reaches its minimum of -1 at pi, and then it goes back up, crosses the axis again at 3 pi by 2, and then comes back up to 1 when x equals 2 pi. So it looks something like that. So that's y equals cos x. If I have y equals cos squared x, well, instead of -1, it's going to be squared, so it's going to go through 1 just there. And so this negative bit is now going to be above the axis. And as it's approaching pi by 2, that's going to be a turning point. Instead of going straight through the axis, it's turning round. And I can think about how it's going to behave close to x equals 0. Because I'm squaring this, it's going to drop underneath more quickly. And then same again, 3 pi by 2, I've got another turning point. So it's going to look more like that. Okay. Now that would be if it was cos squared x. It's not, it's 2/3 cos squared x. But all that means is that instead of my axes going up to 1, this point here is 2/3 instead. So I'll just make my scale of the axis appropriate for that. Now on the same graph I have to draw y equals sine x. So for that I start at 0, I go up to 1 at pi by 2. I go back down to 0 at pi. I'm down to -1 at 3 pi by 2. And then back up to 0 at x equals 2 pi.